What's going on, YouTube fam? Hope you're doing well. Today's video is sponsored by RedTiger. This is a 4K by 4K front and rear 5.8 gigahertz Wi-Fi and GPS dash cam, and it's got a built-in 128 gigabyte storage and SD card support. This model is the F77, and this is sponsored in the sense that they sent this product to me free of charge to make a video on, and I actually requested the product. I actually purchased this for my 2019 Honda Accord, put it in, and was so impressed with it, I wish I would have made a video on it. So I just want to make this video, and we're going to install this in my wife's 2021 Acura RDX. And I'm going to bring y'all along for that process. It is not terribly hard, but I just figured I'd show you how to do it. And if you're interested in a really good camera, I'd strongly suggest this brand. Very impressed with the one I purchased, and thankful and grateful that they were willing to sponsor this video with this camera. So with that being said, we'll get into it. And yeah, let's get into it. You get your quick start guide, a user's manual, and they do provide you with some of these static sticking sheets if you want to mount these to your windshield and your rear window, and then mount the camera to this. That's totally up to you. I just mount directly to the window. In the box, you'll see it presented as such. You will receive your main camera unit and pad. You will also receive the rear camera, which is similar, just a little smaller. You will receive some USB-C cables and your cigarette charger. If you choose to want to not direct wire this into the fuse box, it does come with the cigarette adapter with a USB-C or USB-A port, so you still have power options if you want to go that route. This USB-C cable, USB-A to USB-C, is used for firmware updates and whatnot. You will receive some cable clips, and you will receive a extra pad for the front and rear camera in the box as well. You will receive your plastic pry tool to bury and hide your trim cable. These work very well. And you'll also receive your cable to run from the front camera to the rear camera. Also, when you purchase this camera kit, they include for free a hardwire kit to wire directly into your fuse box, which is what I did in my car. What I really like about this is as you do it, but they make it easy for an average person to follow the directions and make sure that you have it wired up right, and makes the installation super easy. So I'm grateful for that, just because it saves time. And if you don't have multimeters and such like that, you don't have to go out and make a special purchase for that. So there is that, which I find to be nice. So what I'm going to do first is go ahead and simply just verify, firstly, that everything is functional, which is a good sign. And that is working how we want it to. So we're going to go ahead and unplug that. Let's go ahead and we'll get that off. And first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and just set my camera up where I want it. And really all I do when I do that is come around to about the center of my car, the push, and then you have the camera mounted, and that's all there is to it. And I just like it so I can see the screen, and it leaves minimal wires coming out, but I do have to keep in mind that I need to keep it at least 6 inches away from my quick pass. Sometimes the things interfere with that stupid quick pass, so anyways, that should be sufficient. And so now we have that camera. Then we'll go around to our back, and we'll go ahead and put the back camera where we want it. And for my back cam, I'll just peel my sticker off here. I like to keep it toward the top, that way you get it. We'll seat our rear camera where it needs to go. And then we'll go ahead and drop it down. So you can see I just have it mounted there. On this car, you see the camera is slightly off to the left, so I just kind of try to center it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just try to get it as close to the center as you can, and that'll be that. Have that camera mounted in there, and then we're going to go ahead and we'll run the cabling. And the first cable we're going to run is the cable that goes from the back camera to the front of the vehicle. So my camera is there, and typically you just pop this off and slide it down and run it back through there. And that's what I'm probably gonna do. I don't really want to tear in too much with this. So yeah, we'll do that. So this cable is fairly simple. And really all it does is go from the back camera all the way to the front. I will say they do give you, I don't remember the exact meters that they say this was, but I can tell you that there was plenty left over in my car, and there'll be plenty left over in this car. So I'll kind of let you know that as we go. And really you just gotta pry your thing down like so, just to get it. It's like all these new cars, everything just pries out. No big deal really. If I wanted to spend a lot of time with this, I could absolutely hide this, but for the sake of safety, what I'm gonna do is just come right here, and I'm gonna put one of these clips right here. And we're gonna put one of these clips right here. That'll keep it nice and tight. And these little clips, they just kind of push down. There we go. And they just snap into place, and they'll lock that cable right in there. You gotta use some pushing, so be prepared for that. Hopefully you're able to see everything right. These clips got just a little end on them. Essentially that keeps that cable nice and tight. And then this cable here, we're just gonna run it through. There we go. get all this out, and that way we can just feed this bad boy in there and run it down this main harness. We're gonna slide this puppy back up in here, up here. I'm sorry, I know you can't see this spot real well, but I'm just putting this piece of trim back on and making sure it's hidden. Alright, yeah. I know this part of the installation is a little tedious because you can't see it and I have no way to get the camera in there, but basically I'm just going through and pushing the trim back together. And I want it to be nice and tight. So let me go grab that and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back. Put this up there, but I wanted to run this wire through. Ran it down through here, verify we still had the proper closing without pinching anything. Pried this little trim piece off, and I'm just going to tuck this cable down behind here and tuck it back and just kind of push it down. You have to clear the trim molding and just kind of roll with it, getting it all back till you can get it up to right around here. Once you get to there, you can kind of push it in, but it does take a little bit of persuasion. And then you just come in there and push it up. Then you have to come back through here with your weather stripping, because you want that on top, like so. And once we get up there to the second row, we can fix the rest of that trim. This Insta360 camera, I like the saving grace for doing this and trying to record it, because there's no way you can do this with a normal camera. And then this thing can just slide up to here, kind of do a upside down hang. And really it's just pushing the cable all the way up under all these little rubber trims. Now, if you have, like this car, or most cars of today's modern era, curtain airbags, don't push it down into the airbag, just keep it right up above the lip. Along the top part here, and then tuck up under here. I'll go ahead and pull this down. This one shouldn't be as bad. The one on my Accord, I have like, my Accord is the Touring Edition, the 2.0 Touring, and To be perfectly frank, the mirror situation was kind of a pain, because of the way my mirror is attached and all that. But this trim is a little better. This is the kind of trim most of the other Accords had. I don't know why mine was different, but what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we're going to fold this up. And the way this works is you just kind of get up underneath there and push. You don't have to go down, but matter of fact, don't go down. You don't want to get into the way of that airbag. And then up you go. And once you get to there, you just literally gotta push it up underneath the ceiling. And I will say, now you've seen this is Acura RDX. I've got probably 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 feet of cable left. So you have cable routing and management options to you that you could maybe utilize if you didn't want to do it this way. I mean, you do have an additional 5 feet. So if you do have a bigger SUV, like a Suburban or something like that, you know, you should have generally enough cable for all that. Like I said, I definitely have 5 to 6 feet left. And in this particular vehicle, we're gonna hide the additional cable right up underneath this and just kind of tuck it away. And that's the same thing I did with mine. I just kind of took the 2 screws out of here, and this console just kind of pops down. I'm not sure if it's the same on an Acura, but nonetheless, that's what we'll do. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. There we go. And once you, on these Hondas and Acuras, once you get it started, it's fairly simple. Man, that's always the... Alright guys, so we are down below here and I am in the driver's side of the car. I had showed you at the top we plugged in the power to the top of the camera. Well, at this point we want to direct wire this. So essentially what we have is our ground. The yellow is battery plus, meaning that it has power all the time, even when the car is off. So you want to put that on a circuit that has power all the time. And then accessory has the ACC, and that's going to be when the car is running. I will show you where we're at here. And I will show you, if I can't see it as we're doing it, I will show you connected after. So I got my flashlight here to provide light in this small space. Up underneath the car, you can see, let me turn this light down just a little bit. They're extremely bright. So up there, you see our fuse box. Those are where our fuses are, and that's where we want to tap into with our fuse. things, fuse taps. Now, what I can't probably show you very well, this is so hard. I'm kind of having to do this one-handed, so I'll try to edit the camera so you don't see all the jerking. So back in here, you'll see that cable with all the ground. You see it right there against the frame. It's kind of tucked in there. Maybe you could see it right there. That's where you want your ground to be on the frame. And as you can see, that's why I can't really show you doing it, but I will show you afterward. Alright guys, I told you I'd come back whenever I started this process. So what I wanted to show you is how this actually works when you're hardwiring it. So I got my ground wire to where I said I was going to put it back up in there against the frame. And that needs to be the first step in the process. Second step is you have this yellow battery plus wire, and as you can see up in there, now that that's actually connected and tapped into the fuse box, you can see we have the battery voltage, which is 12.4 volts, right? So to know if you got on a fuse that you can connect the battery plus to, what you want to see is with the car off, not just off altogether, you should see the battery's resting voltage. When you start the car, you'll see that you actually have the voltage that's running in the battery with the car running. So you have a good battery plus connection, meaning all the time power. So that is capable of operating the battery plus terminal. So that's how you know you have the right terminal on that. That's how the fuse will actually tap in. That's a fuse tap. So we pulled the fuse out, tapped it in there, and connected it, and that's how it connects into the fuse box. All right, let's get out of there. Now, connected our battery plus and our accessory and our ground. I will do my best to show you everything in there. This is all wired up appropriately with the correct fuse taps, and we're in there, and the ground is secured. So what I was saying, you'll know, is you have 12.4 volts on there, and when your setup is complete and it's done, when you actually start the vehicle, which we just did, you'll see that we go to ACC. Now we have power with the car off and with the car running, and now we have our G-shock sensor. So if someone hits your car or something while it's parked, or you want to just record overnight, you can do that, and no worries. That's how I have mine set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of wrap these wires up and tuck them up in here, and we'll go ahead and start completing the installation. When you turn the car off, you'll see you go back to your battery voltage. All right. So basically I'm just gonna zip tie these tight together, and I'm gonna tuck them back behind this unit there, and then this cable is where we'll start off, and you can do your wires however you'd like. I'm gonna get this situated, and I'll show you how I get them in there. All right guys, as you can see, I've got everything kind of just wired and tucked up in there, and used a wire tie and just tied it all up and tucked the box behind this foot panel right here. And now we have our wires secured up in there, and I'll throw a zip tie on it, and then we'll run this here cable up and complete the installation. Alright, so while we have the camera on, figure why not just go ahead and feed this bad boy up, and you just tuck it over, leaving some slack to unit back over our mirror here. There we go. Dang, didn't bring enough zip ties. I'm gonna just take a zip tie. You know, there's a zip tie right there to there. That way I have plenty of slack, and the cables kind of look neat, because I don't want to pull this up too much to where it puts pressure on the outlet. All right, grab the couple zip ties, and we'll just take these. Just give it a good. Ideally, I'll get some smaller ones, but this is the only size that I got at the moment. But I'll get some tiny ones. That way you don't even see these little zip tie things. Now to just keep it, you know, neat looking. It's still neat looking now. Just, I don't like how big the here we go. And just take that and slide it down, pull it up, and there we go. And once I go to the store, I get some smaller ones, and we can just trim those ones up, and you know, we ain't got to deal with, you won't even see that. Go ahead and we'll do our settings. So we'll do 4K 30 front, 4K 30 rear. You can do 2.5K 60 front, 4K 30 rear if you so choose. But I'm going to do 4K 30. We're going to leave sound record on. Loop recording. We're going to do 5 minutes. G sensor, we're going to put on low. Fatigue reminder. I want to thank RedTiger for sending this to me to make a video on, because I really do feel that this is a real top-notch dash cam. It's a lot of features for, you know, regular price. I want to say it's $350, which isn't terribly expensive for a dash cam, but I think you get it on sale for like $260. And I will put the link in the description of this video where you can get it from, by sending me this product to make a video on and show the installation process. And I'm a believer in your product. Like I said, I purchased mine. They were kind enough to send me this one to make a video on, and just a phenomenal product. So thank you again, RedTiger. If you want one, I'll put a link in the description below and you can check it out. And thank you for watching. Thanks for being the best part of the channel. Pick you up a dash cam before you find one of them scammers that get you, and get back on TikTok. Bye-bye.